Cancer, this is your May astrology, and here are some of the highlights. Oh my goodness, we have a full moon, and that full moon is bringing in some love, magic and creativity. Anything could happen, and there is a sign coming. We also have Venus, the planet of love, in your sign. This is going to imbue you with a sense of fabulous. Finally though, I have to admit, we have a Cardinal Grand Cross. Oh no, I hear you cry. Yes, a Cardinal Grand Cross, which may cause a bit of conflict and challenge when it comes to family, home and relationships, but don't worry, it's for a reason, and here's why. Here's your May astrology. Cancer, this month there's a very powerful message for you, and that message is love is meant to be easy. How do you feel about that statement? Do you find love easy? Are your romantic relationships easy? I mean, obviously relationships can be challenging and they make our soul grow, of course, but do you find it smooth? Do you find yourself supported and loved and adored and appreciated? And that doesn't just go for romantic relationships, it goes for our family relationships and our friendships. This is the lesson, this is hopefully the reward, and this is the significance of May for you. Now we do have Mercury, the planet of communication, making you feel things very deeply, but also making you incredibly intuitive, incredibly empathetic, but you sense things. You can't put your finger on it, but when you communicate with people, you feel everything under the surface. Now be a bit careful for two reasons. One, that energy can sometimes make us have an illusion because we dig down into the soul of the person. Rather than just saying who the person is in this life, we sense their core essence. And everybody's core essence is love. But sometimes that love has been kind of cracked and built upon with different personalities. And if you're going straight in to see the love, you could be dealing with someone tricky and you're not really dealing with the reality of that. Now, the second reason to be a little bit cautious is because Mercury, the planet of communication, is going backwards, is going retrograde. And there could be something or someone from your past coming back up. Perhaps it's someone you felt that there was a soul connection with and there's suddenly communication. But again, I take you back to the first thing I said, love is meant to be easy. Now, the moon is your ruler. So every month you've got some special message and some special gift, actually. Now this full moon, yeah baby, it's a good one. It's a full moon in your position of soulmates, happiness, joy, passion, kind of sensuality and creativity. So hopefully, fingers crossed, you'll have a peak emotional experience. Now if this energy is lacking in your life, you know more than any other sign that the moon will bring that up for you, and it will say to you, well, why isn't that flowing for you? And it will give you a sign, a symbol or a synchronicity that will help heal that. Then we have the new moon, which, as you know, is all about letting go and moving on to the next thing, having a new beginning and being able to express ourselves in a new way, leaving baggage behind. And for you, this new moon could bring in a new group of people or a deeper connection to feeling as if you're part of the one soul consciousness. It's a great thing. It puts you in a great position to collaborate as well. Now, there's a lot of this energy of intuition and maybe a little bit of lack of boundaries, to be honest. We have a 3-planet stellium in your position of intuition, psychic ability, connecting with people, but it's also the planet of illusion. And Saturn, the Lord of responsibility, is opposing the sun in that energy. And so there's a part of you on the 23rd that may feel, you know, as if somebody's forcing you to let go of your belief system or is challenging you too harshly when it comes to some of your ideas or your beliefs or your kind of sense of spirituality. If that's the case, Saturn may be just saying, okay, ground it a little bit, be a little bit more practical. If we kick and scream, if somebody tries to control us in any way, then often it can be worse. Just listen to the message, whatever it is, and find the balance. And you shouldn't find it too oppressive. You should, in fact, find it liberating. Because when we ground our psychic energy, when we ground our intuition, when we ground the messages that come through us, that's when we can really bring it into our world and make it life enhancing. Now, there's a Cardinal Grand Cross, and Venus is sitting in there, and it's saying to you, okay, You know, what are your challenges when it comes to love, and what is it that you need to balance? And Cardinal Grand Crosses, as we know through recent experience, can be quite challenging, but if you use your intuition, fingers crossed, it's okay. We move on then to the double pentagram. The double pentagram, I'm using within that Eris, Juno and Chiron, which I believe are very important for our soul growth. Chiron is the wounded healer, Juno is all about relationships, and Eris is very powerful and gives us the strength to make changes. And for you, you're trying to find out who you are within relationships without losing your identity. And also not just your love relationships, but your relationships in your career, your relationships with your friends, within everything. You might find there are some challenges within that, but fear not. When we see the truth and when things are reflected to us, which are the truth, that's when we can go on to build a life with very solid and firm foundations. And that's exactly what you're going to do. May not be immediately, but the answers are all coming at the end of the month. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon. If you love astrology, please come and visit my website, horoscope.co.uk, where there is loads of fabulous information and much more written detail on your monthly astrology. And I know Mercury is going retrograde, and I'm probably the worst time to ask, but if you love this, please, it'd be great if you could subscribe. Just click the subscribe button. Lots of love.